snow on the mountaintops. I'm south of downtown on an off-ramp. And I'm on my way to Alameda Street here, and I'm going to be going to BOBCO Metals. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to get the metal I need and maybe some other little bits to finish up this bumper. It's really crazy. There's a white van down there blocking the intersection, but everybody here is, because there's a light right over here. And that light over here is not synced with this light. So we get a green light, and this is all backed up with traffic here. And then these, you know, Alameda's a busy street here, so the traffic just blocks the intersection. So even the cars that want to make a left down here can't even make a left. So the traffic, I've been sitting on this off-ramp for like 10 minutes, just trying to get the hell out of here. If it wasn't for this, I would have been there and on my way home already. It's pretty wild. You would think that they would sync the lights so that would happen, but I've also noticed out here, sorry, that was extremely close up. I also noticed out here, it's people will just, I see this a lot, and it's there's a term for it that escapes me right now. So we got a green light, we got the green light, and you'll see we're not moving because there's all that traffic there. We can't go anywhere. It's totally nuts, man. You would think that they would sync this right. Really, really crazy. And I also have to say, and it's not the car obviously, but Teslas, 4 white Teslas and a black one on my way here today so far, just doing horrible, stupid things on the road, just cutting in front of you, all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, I'm moving. This is Alan from BOBCO Metals. Say hi, Alan. So I came down here to buy some angle aluminum 1/4 inch by 4 inch, but they don't actually have it. And then I found this crazy piece of 6 by 6 1/2 inch, but it was too much. Oh, here it is. I was going to get this, but it just didn't make any sense. You guys see the thickness of that? It's just too much. So, and that was more money than buying 20 feet of 1/4 inch 4 by 4 angle. So I'm doing that and cutting it down. And that's what I'm going to use to attach the posts to the van. So the aluminum was put back in the shed.
It was? They put it back already? Yeah. No surprise. So we do deliveries. We've stacked most of our retail tubing here. This is for orders, for delivery.
And you were saying you guys manufacture this stuff.
Yeah. We're a galvanized tubing manufacturer. 40 pipes.
But specifically, you said that you guys manufacture or are now making Unistrut.
Yeah, we just started doing that. We haven't launched it, but it's going to be in the market in about a month.
Okay, so for those of you who watched the rack video and you guys were pricing Unistrut, if you go to a place like BOBCO that makes it, it's going to be less expensive than buying it at the store. So keep that in mind.
That's our inventory that we make right there. Yeah, we don't stop.
So when is the unit? Oh wow, look at that.
Razor wire.
You're not making razor wire, are you?
No, we order a lot.
Oh good, we got the sign. This is what I was looking for the whole time. The BOBCO metal sign. Mini welder. $140 for the whole kit. And you said you could weld up to what, 1/8 inch thick?
Yeah, 1/8 inch. No return. We don't get any returns. Everybody loves it.
That's amazing.
1 year warranty.
Look at that, 1 year on BOBCO metals. Cool. Alright, so as I was saying, it was cheaper for me to buy 4x4 by 1/4 inch steel, 20 feet of it, than it was to buy that 6x6 by 1/2 inch aluminum. And he gave me a deal. So I hope you guys appreciate this. And BOBCO Metals here in Los Angeles on Alameda. I've been coming here since the 1990s. I just don't come here a lot because I don't do a lot of metal work. I think I got enough room here, possibly, if I put some flat stock on the back side of this swing away, I can mount, I can put a strip from here, to here, and another one up here, and maybe I can bolt these traction boards on the back side of this behind the tire and still have everything closed and work. So that'll be an experiment to try to figure out. It seems like it might be doable. Just killing time waiting for this material to get cut. So eyeballing this here where the tire is going to meet compared to where the box ends, I need 15.5 inches minimum from the center here to the edge of the box. Keep in mind we took 5 inches out of the center here. So I might have to adjust this offset. And I can see here that this is down on an angle here. It's not level. So I think what happened was you can see all this powder coating missing. And they probably had to adjust this location for Phil's 35-inch tires that he had on the back of his van. And just didn't get that right. It's not the end of the world. So I might have to just adjust this over or something here. So you can see that even though this doesn't open as much as I thought it needed to, when this door hits it, I'll have to put a little rubber bumper on here. Maybe I'll even figure out a way to kind of attach it, like a little clip or something, maybe from here. So that locks in place, but there's plenty of room to work here. As a kitchen. And once I disconnect that there, this will open out more. And so, yeah, I can still have a fold down there and still have enough room to get through everything. So that's exciting. Matter of fact, now with this here and this little shelf here and this big bumper here now, I've got way more area to work. Like I could cook right on this with a little stove, prep the food, cook, and the thing is the height of the stove will probably be almost the height of this top here. So that'll all work out real well. I can actually sit on the bumper. Another added benefit I hadn't thought of before. So you have to have a lot of excess material, but you know what? It will definitely come in handy for other projects. All right, so I'm at the shop. I just ate lunch. These are primed. This is 3 of these. Is for the ceiling underneath where that butler's pantry goes, where I built that. This is the floating oak top. I got to put a little finish on the bottom of it, and then one more coat on the top, and then I can hand wax it and install it. I'm going to put the coat on the bottom today when I'm done, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove stuff from the van, move this stuff where it's safe, cover it up, get out my grinder and everything, and start making those L brackets. I'm going to make those now. I have to take the in order to do this right, I'm going to have to take the bed and everything, all this crap I have up here, out, so I can get behind here. And what's going on inside here is it's double walled. You guys, we already talked about this. So I want to remove everything so I can make a big square cutout on the inside after I put the bracket up here and mark where my holes go and drill those holes, so I know where that happens. And as I mentioned before, I'll cramp some insulation up in there just for the hell of it, just to fill in those back panels. It helps, you know. Yeah, every little bit is something. I do have a bunch of this, which I'm going to use on a job, but that might be perfect. And I have some Thinsulate up in here in a bag that's behind that foam. There's just a lot of stuff I've had because I've been working on this incrementally over all this time. How about I just stop talking and I get to work? All right, so this bracket has to come all the way out to here because this is real thick in here. I'll show you the inside in a moment. So I got to put my bolts all the way out here, which means my measurement from here to out here is going to be 9.5 inches long. All right, you can see here, those holes are going to come in right over here somewhere. So I have to avoid all of this mass here. Can't get in there. So that's where I need to do this. And what I'm looking at making is something like this. Okay. So I'm thinking instead of keeping it 4 inches, I'll cut an angle down, and I'm just adding this piece here just for a little extra stability. And then at the top, same thing. So this is where the rod is here, right? The pole is right here. That's the hole. And this is from the end. Now, I only have grinding wheels to cut this. It's probably not the right way to do it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. And keep in mind, if I can make this piece, this angle has to change. So the angle of the van comes in like this, and then this is like that. So I need to be able to get this bend. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to do it, but I'm going to attempt it. When I cut the parts, I figure I could put it in the vise and pound on it, you know, with a sledgehammer or something, like a maul, and try to get that to bend. It's not super extreme. I'll get the angle finder out, you know, the adjustable square, and see if I can do it, but I might not be able to do it. I also was just looking at this, and we noticed that these are higher than the spacer here on the bumper on both of them. So I got to take a washer out of here. Keep in mind, we'll be doing some bronze or something. So I'm going to take one washer out, and that should allow these to rest on there. So that'll be better. And I mentioned the box being too close. I don't have to move that. I can just move the box in this direction, closer to the outside of the vehicle. It still won't block the tail light. Although if you're behind me and you're too close, you probably won't even see that tail light. So I definitely have to put the lights in at the bottom at some point. So anyhow, let's see if we can get these brackets made. I'll know real quick if this grinding wheel doesn't work. If it doesn't work, I think they got metal. They probably got a metal cutting blade that'll work on a 7¼ inch circular saw. I've got that dual battery Makita worm drive. Man, I brought my plug-in saws to Arizona, and now here I am, and probably would have been the right thing to have for this. 1/4 inches thick. And before you're like typing, why don't I get thinner material? I needed this to be at least 4 inches this way, so from the van to the outside of that pole it'll reach. And the only stuff they had was 1/4 inch in a 4 inch width. You understand? So with I had no other choice. I could have used 1/8 inch or something if they had 1/8 inch that was, 4" by 1/8. They just didn't have it. I don't think they make it. So that's where I'm at. I'll give it a shot. And listen, man, that stuff is wide enough. It'll go across the whole front. So when it comes time to be making a bumper, this stuff will probably come in handy. It's going to come in handy for a lot of stuff. Dave's probably going to end up with it. I owe Dave anyhow, man. So Dave, happy Christmas, happy birthday, Easter, Kwanzaa, name day. I don't know. Pick a friggin' holiday. It's yours. Of course, it's yours because I'll be saying, hey, Dave, can you take some of that 4x4 angle and make this for me? Let's see if this will work. All right, so I got the angle cut on the back side. It worked. It's going to drain a whole battery just about. Ergonomically speaking, it was easier to do this one like this. So far, so good. This is one cutoff wheel so far. I don't think it's going to last for this whole piece, but that's pretty good. Wow, that thing is friggin' heavy, man. Anyhow, that's your bracket, so I'll round this over with a grinder. All right. I'll round that over. I'll round this a little bit. I'll round this and this. I'll drill the holes, but boy, that is way more. I don't know, man. But you know, I'll get it done. And maybe I can figure out a way to do it with something lighter later if I think it makes sense. Holy Toledo. There's you metal guys right now, you're watching me going, dude, what are you doing? That's super overkill. I get it. Again, I needed something 4 inches this way. I'm not going to try to taper this up this way anymore. I'm going to leave it at the 4 inch just for the sake of time. Let's walk it over here and see what it looks like. So you can see the angle there. But that's what it's going to look like. Okay, I see. Yep. I'm going to have to take away on the bottom side. So what I'm going to have to do is, to make it look right, I'm going to have to remove material here and stop it right here. So this will be an overhang that way. And again, it's so thick, it'll be strong. So... yeah, that's okay. I'm all right with that. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. You know, I just had a thought. Once that's there, that's like a step. And depending on what happens back here, I could either bolt or have somebody weld some aluminum right in here. So I could do my aluminum step like I have on the back down here or something, and step up, step up, step up, and boom, get up on the roof of the van on both sides. This is ridiculous, right? I just laid it up there and it's perfect. I still got to get the angle, but the part shape is right. So now I got to make a duplicate opposite. So I got to lay that out, draw it on there, and cut it out. I'll spare you all that because you just sat through, what, 4 or 5 minutes of noise and sparks. You don't need to see it all. glory. Oh. All right. It's kind of hot still. That's what we call in the old days. We call that close enough for government work. Mirrored, 2 mirrored pieces. That's for eyeballing it. That is not bad. Well, I'm a little long on this one here. But, you know, when they're mounted on the van, you're never going to walk around and see that. So that's pretty good. Free-handed with a cutoff wheel, 1/4 inch thick steel. With Harbor Freight cutoff wheel. This is the second wheel, second battery, and this battery still has a couple bars left on it too, so that's pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to get the grinding wheel out and shape it. Then I got to bend it. Then I got to drill the holes. So. Alright, so we got another issue here. See, that's up on an angle. So the top of this post is not level with the deck. Keep in mind, the van's actually, if anything, it's probably leaning down towards the front. So I can't have that going up on an angle. And I was gonna, maybe it doesn't matter. I talked to Dave. I don't have a way to heat this to bend it, right? To match the bend of the side of the van. My thought was to make the bottom touch and then bolt it to the pole and then put a shim at the top until we could bend it. But if I do that, then it's too short going up against the vehicle, but I could shim it with like a thick piece of rubber, which wouldn't be a bad idea, but man, I just wanted to get this thing on there, and it's just not going to happen unless I don't care about the angles. You know, if I put it all on, get the bolts in and just bolt pretty tight and try to wedge something in there for now, it'll work. It's just not as pro as I want it to be. And it is 3:30. I got to go put some finish on that top, because clearly it's not going to get done today, but I can maybe get them on there tomorrow. I'll think it out tonight, but man, that's a bummer. I wonder why that is like that. That doesn't make any sense. Unless because it's designed for a specific vehicle, this might have been angled like that. And it's angled on both sides, I can see it. It might have been angled like that on purpose for a bracketry system that they have. I don't know. It's a Luminous, so. All right. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, the problem is if I drill these holes now in the steel, you know, that's it. That's where that hole's going to be. And I don't want to really screw that up. So maybe I'll just stop for now. And the thing is, I really wanted to have these on and then put it on the video for you guys. But I think what I'll do is I'll post this video up now at this point. And then I'll tell Dave, dude, watch this tonight. You watching this, Dave? Tell me what you think. And I'll probably come up with something anyhow. But, yeah. Again, keep in mind, if this is straight up here, and then you see the tops of my fingers, it's gapped away from the vehicle. And if I was to bolt it to this now, and then we bend it, now we have that whole gap to the vehicle. And this won't move in. I mean, I suppose if I crank on those bolts, I could pull that in towards the vehicle a little bit, but really it's not, it won't go that way. It will go this way, which is what I want to do. You see that? I want to pull it back a little bit. So the idea was, I think we're going to have to bend them. I think I'll have to ask Dave to pick these things up and bend them and then get them to me. I just don't know if we could do all that this week. Because if they're bent, then I could bolt them to here with a little rubber behind it, sit it on there, push this in, get the hole right, bolt that in place. The idea is I want to just push this forward a hair and lock that up like that. All right, see the tweak? So I want to kind of hold that up, and then that'll hold in place here. It gives a little extra little tension back towards the vehicle. Since there's going to be so much weight on here, I figure that'll probably help, you know? So that's the goal. I think that's what we'll do. And I know Dave, he's going to be like, all right, but then you got to meet me at the top of Home Depot parking lot at 6 o'clock in the morning, or 5 o'clock in the morning or something. I don't want to do that. All right, dude. I'll talk to you in a bit. Thanks, God, for being here, people. I know you're curious about this. It'll all work out one way or another. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Okay, so new plan. I just talked to Dave. You watching this, Dave? And it doesn't make sense to try to rush this week. I'm going to pull the swingaways off. If it's not raining, I'm going to drive out to Zicopoulos, see some of you guys, I suppose. And I just won't have these on there. And then when I come back, we'll just do it right. We'll get the bend along the body correct. And then because of this, what I'm thinking is, as you guys can see, with the way that this wings off of here, I could bend this down a hair, right? Because the hole for up there is going to be right around here. So I could bend this down slightly, right? To match that. And then again, that bottom section will be bent in a little bit, and we'll just get that all correct. And then we'll put a piece of rubber, like 1/8 inch rubber. I'll make a little gasket for it, for the back side where it goes up against the paint. And then we'll be able to get that hard bolted right there. And then we can, you know, I'll put some points here and get the measurements right. We just push this over a little, drill the hole, and that's going to be what we do. So that was an extra minute and 20 seconds or so after I said goodbye, have a good day, be good to one another. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for being here. Come back again. Come back often. Tell your friends. Bye.